Virgo season is upon us, and even if you're not a Virgo, the energy of the season impacts you. We wanted to dig into both the astrology and the numerology of it so that you can use this energy to its fullest. So we have astrologer Stevie Calista, as well as numerologist and Akashic Records reader Akashic Bec, here to give us all of the information that we need to know. Let's talk Virgo season.
We have the experts in the room.
We do.
The need to know information.
Yeah, what are the basics? Let's just start. When does it start? When does it end?
So Virgo season starts August 23rd through September 22nd. It's the season just before the autumn equinox. So it's the last one in that series. And Virgo is Earth. And so Virgo season is all about getting back to our routines, right? It's back to school. It's just fascinating. I always found that fascinating.
I know. And we always talk to you right around then. And it's a reminder.
Yeah, after Leo season being like playful and fire and creative and just summer energy, at least in the Northern Hemisphere, Virgo season really signifies a time where we get back to our routines, which is Virgo energy in the first place. So Virgo season means the sun moves into Virgo on the August 22nd. And the archetype of Virgo is very interested in perfecting things. So making things better, organizing, being productive, being of service. If you have a lot of Virgo in your chart or you have a Virgo sun, I'm sure you'll have this energy around being able to go into a space and see what needs to be done to make it better. And so that comes with the season of getting back to what is healthy for you, what is right for you, cleaning out your closets, feeling like you're being productive or of service in some way. And we all get into that energy during that period of time. So you can get a lot done during Virgo season. Most Virgo seasons, this one's not the same as most, but we can talk about that later.
Maybe we should talk about that now.
Yeah.
So this one, we have a Mercury retrograde during it, at least at the beginning of it. So that really means that Mercury will be retrograde in Virgo and Leo from August 5th through the 29th. And so the beginning part of Virgo season is this slow to move energy. So if it's slow to move into your routines or you feel a little bit stagnant, that's probably why. And Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So the Mercury cycle is really important in this season.
Wow. That's not going to be fun.
It immediately feels energetically like things slow down. I automatically feel when we come out of Leo season and summer and light and fun, and then all of a sudden it's like back to responsibility. That's what it feels like energetically.
It probably will feel like that for you.
Yeah.
But then you add the Mercury retrograde to it. That's going to add a lot more weight to it.
Totally. It will, but it's just the beginning. So as we move through Virgo season, Mercury will start, but it's just a little bit different of a season than normal, let's say.
Yeah, that's a tough one to start school, especially those with kids or those in school right now and watching this. That's just tough. I feel like, and great information to have. So like knowing that going into it, trying to just be patient and know that's on purpose. There's a reason for that this year, at least.
Yeah, and it might be that you need to rethink your routines. Like maybe what used to work for you no longer works for you.
And Stevie, if you are a Virgo, does this compound the energy even more? If it's your sun sign, are you going to feel the impact even more?
Probably somewhat. If you're a Virgo, it means you're having your birthday, your solar return. The sun comes back to itself during your birthday. And so it's a little bit of a homecoming moment for you. You probably will feel it more. But a lot of people, like for me, I'm a Taurus. During Taurus season, I feel like I'm at home. As soon as the sun moves into Taurus, I'm like, oh, thank God, I'm back.
Yes. Yeah. So let's talk about this from a numerology standpoint.
So we look at the universal month energy now, and I wanted to just preface this. We were talking about how you feel like things slow down around September in Virgo season, and there might be a reason for that numerologically. That's because September is the 9th month of the year, and 9 is a culmination. It's the end of the number line. And so things do start to slow down. People might feel a little more reflective. They might be just getting their plans ready. And there's also this aspect of how in September, the influence, you could say, of the universal year energies start to wane. They start slowly making their way out because there's no definitive line. So we're going to start feeling 2025 energies coming in September, and we're going to start to lose the momentum of that year. August was like the peak, not just with Lionsgate, but the peak of that energy. It's right there towards the middle of the year, and its impact has already hit. And so now we're going to start to feel the momentum shift in that way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It does.
And
Like,
so,
back to the school year analogy, right? You're starting a new school year. So you are really ahead to the next year versus looking behind. So that totally makes sense.
Exactly. Yes. And so as far as the seasons, since I'm not talking about Virgo season or Leo season, I look at the universal months and the impact that those numbers have on the season. So August was a 16-7 universal month, and that is a very intense number. It's a karmic debt number. And there are a lot of lessons, a lot of wisdom gained throughout the month of August because of this. That is very highlighted. There could also be aspects of our ancestral roots and things like that starting to take shape. And then we move into September 2024, which is going to be a 17-8 universal month. In September, the universal month is always going to match the universal year because everything added to 9 in mathematics equals itself. We're also going to see themes of this 8 universal year playing out throughout September. Now, 17-8 is not a karmic debt number. It's actually a very auspicious number. And 17 represents self-actualization, self-wisdom, like applied knowledge and skill. And then we have 8, which represents abundance. It represents the structures in our life. It has a lot of Saturnian themes. As a nod to Stevie, we talk about like how they work together, how they correspond. And so in Virgo season, we see this beautiful 7 and 8 energy that we started to see last month. So I feel like there's going to be themes around self-empowerment. We're going to start to see reflecting on our past. We have this 9 energy of the September, reflecting on our past and then applying it, using that applied knowledge, that applied skill for the betterment, for the growth and expansion of the self. Moving into this Virgo season, because as she mentioned, Virgo season is all about trying to make things better, right? Trying to improve what's already there. And so we have this beautiful closure energy starting to happen, but we also are still having this continuation of momentum and energy with this 8 universal month. So 8's not done with us. It's still here. It's still letting us know, hey, the year's not over yet. And we're not totally winding down, but we want to make sure that you got the lessons from the last 8 months and applying it now, because you've got a few more months to go before you move into a new year.
So in terms of working with that energy in that month, what do you both recommend? Are there specifics? Like I know we said in August at the Lionsgate timeframe, working on our relationships, our marriages, our family, that was a very big time for that. How does that apply in Virgo season?
So I would say that anything you could do, like self-improvement. We were talking about school starting. It would be a really great time in both August or September to take a class or go back to school yourself if you want to finish your degree or something like that. If there's something that you really wanted and felt called to learn, I feel like following that urge and maybe even starting a project. So 8 is a very big about projects, right? And I would say moving forward with a project, anything you can do to boost your knowledge, boost your skill set, and actually go out into the world instead of having hesitation, instead of hiding behind fear, instead of hiding behind perceived limitations and limiting beliefs, like moving forward on those things. And as far as like a spiritual practice maybe that you could apply for this time, I would say maybe clean or sage your home or your sacred space. I think about Virgo, right? Very much. But 8 is also very much like Virgo in that it likes things to be a certain way. It likes things to be cohesive. And it's like a bigger perspective, all the moving parts. So maybe not just your home or your sacred space, but your office. If you spend a lot of time in your vehicle, your car, getting those things organized and straight, because it helps you think better, right? It helps you go into things with a clean slate and a clear palette. I also think of maybe connecting with the divine feminine aspects as a nod to Virgo, and maybe practicing forgiveness, maybe also connecting with the body, connecting with yourself, maybe through meditation, to the higher mind. If you think about the 8th chakra, it's like right above the head, connecting with the higher self, connecting with your intuition.
Those are a lot.
Yeah.
It's a great reminder for people to clear the energy in all of those important places in their lives. So I love that reminder, especially as you're getting back into a routine. And I think, Stevie, as you were talking about, when it comes to routine, it's maybe question your routine. Really look at it. Is that working for you as you get back in it? Are there adjustments that you can make to make it better? Stevie, any specific days within that Virgo season that people should pay attention to in addition to the Mercury retrograde?
Yeah, there's a few. It's fascinating too to hearing the numerology back because it's so in alignment with the way that the energy is playing out during Virgo season, which isn't the same every year, as the numerology changes too somewhat. So we have a new moon on the 2nd at 11 degrees of Virgo, and this one's opposite Saturn, which is so funny because you're talking about Saturn's energy, which is totally, when you have the new moon, it's sun and moon in Virgo, there's a lot of Virgo energy with that. And if it's opposite Saturn, there's something about how can you take responsibility for yourself in a new way. And this really makes me think about, I see an image of sweeping the energy out of your house, but physically sweeping energy into how do you bring the physical and the spiritual together? How do you make your physical really sacred by clearing the energy itself? Because physical items really store it, just like our bodies really store the energy. So that time is such a good time to think about those things and like where you can really take responsibility for what is working and what is not working in your life and do something about it. Virgo doesn't stand still. They're the one in the corner that's, I can't just stand here. I have to start helping. I have to be productive. I have to help put up stuff. So this is really a time where you want to think about that stuff. And Virgo season, actually, this year, we go back into eclipse season with Virgo season.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So on the 17th, we have a partial lunar eclipse in Pisces. And so that's a full moon. So sun is going to be in Virgo and moon will be in Pisces. And that really is completely around the same topics of balancing your doing and your productivity and the being and the intuition and just the living part of things. And how do you balance out these two? The thing about Virgo that you want to remember is that it's probably the most critical sign, only because it can take anything, it can look at anything and see how it can be bettered. And so if you have a lot of Virgo, you can instantly know how things should operate better, how things should be better organized. Why didn't we take a right turn? Because if we took a right turn, it would have saved 2 minutes and then we wouldn't have hit this stop sign. And you cannot avoid this energy. And so whether you have that or not in your chart, you're going to be in this frequency more during this season. So watch out for criticism, because during Virgo season, we're all more critical and we're really critical of ourselves, but that bleeds over into other people as to why they're doing what they're doing and should be better and they're not perfect. And so a lot of the inner critic voices come up during this season. And I think that eclipse is going to highlight that a great deal. And it's actually an opportunity to clear some of that away. And I don't know why, but I'm hearing it's also very ancestral for us, criticism. It is for me anyway. So I'm saying like a lot of the generations before us have come and they had really high standards set for them. So a lot of our inner critic comes from our ancestors. And this lunar eclipse feels like a moment where we can do some healing with that.
That's really helpful to know. And considering that'll be September 17th, you'll have been in this energy for quite some time. You'll have really begun those routines too. So to me, there's a lot of releasing and acknowledging of maybe what was working, what's not. So on that deeper level of the ancestral level, but there's also the what was or wasn't working for you in general and releasing that around that time too.
Yeah. And how do you balance taking responsibility and doing something versus also letting things just be, like surrendering to what is?
Yeah.
And that feeling of Pisces, which is like forgiveness and compassion.
And Bec, you brought that up, that forgiveness part too.
Yeah, 9 embraces the concept of surrender and forgiveness. It's like you've done it all and you've lived your life and you've made mistakes, and it's giving yourself that grace at the end of the day.
That's really cool. And I love the way that you personify the numbers. I got used to that from Stevie with the planets and the stars and how you personify them for all of us. And I love hearing this back from you and how you personify the numbers. It's really cool.
You should dress up as them and make videos. What would a one wear? How would they talk?
Yeah.
I think that's a TikTok series that is to come.
I think you would be so funny doing that. I feel so good.
Maybe that's why the
One
little
would probably be naked, so I don't know if I want to do that.
You could censor yourself.
Just wear black boxes.
That's right. That's
And
right.
chat.
Well, what I love what you both have done is really underscore what people are already feeling anyway, even seasonally with both astrology and numerology. We all feel the energy of the shift and the change, and just knowing that's out there and the influence that it has on our day to day is so helpful. It's then I'm not crazy. It's not just me.
So true. Yeah.
This is rolling. So it's really helpful. Anything else that we should be mindful of for Virgo that we haven't asked?
The only thing that I would say is that on the first, Uranus is stationing retrograde, and on the second, Pluto moves back into Capricorn. So the very beginning of the month of September is pretty electric, let's say, because when
Wow.
you have Uranus stationing the week before and the week after the first is definitely a time where you're going to feel the shake of change and
Okay.
needing to live more authentically, needing freedom. Uranus is my favorite because he wants to just shake the hell out of us to make the change that is necessary for us to make, and we know it, and sometimes he shoves us into it. So when he stations, we feel this energy, right? And so don't forget to ground the first week of September. This is energy so electrical. I personally love it, but some people are really alarmed by it. You can definitely expect the unexpected during that period of time. All the election stuff that went down, Uranus and Mars were together, right? So Mars triggered Uranus. So that's what I mean. Like unexpected things can happen. And then Pluto moving back into Capricorn, just an overarching theme there. This is the last time Pluto will be in Capricorn for 248 years. And this is really where he is doing his last business with breaking down the systems and structures that we've lived in for our whole lives. And so I just want to say, if things are crumbling in front of you, let them. And even this Virgo energy that we've been speaking about, this is a time to really seed in your heart what you want the collective consciousness and what you want our future to be, right? Mm-hmm. We're all creating it together. And so this Virgo season says, okay, what are we going to do about it? How do we take responsibility for it? But I just want to say overall this year, this is a time where we want to let go of like the two-party system. We want to let go of the structures and the patriarchy. None of these things work for us. And I've been saying this for so long, but this is really actually where we start seeing it. We start seeing the crumble.
Everyone's seeing it, no matter what you believe. And it's just, you can't not see it. You can't not feel it.
And I want to say too, like I've been speaking to a few of my friends who are scared by it, which I totally understand because it's all you've known. But this is really where humanity gets to take the lead and we get to unify and figure out what it is that we want our systems and structures to be. That will come. But right now the crumble has to be there first so that these systems and structures, they're not good for us. They've never been. So we're going to see that this fall.
And I think, again, we're not trying to put out any fear around it. It's about embracing and going the flow and the energies that actually you can't even see that are supporting all of this right now. They're literally like energetically, whether it's numerically, whether it's astrologically, there's so much support and humanity's ready. We've got this. So it's looking at it from that perspective and that view.
Yeah, no matter what, we're heading through a time in the universe where there's more light. And so stuff to be cleared away. And on the other side, it's like giving birth, right? On the other side, you get a baby. On the other side, we actually get something from this. And we can all know that the astrology supports that we get to be unified, which is so exciting.
And there you go. Exactly. And I always love to remind people, in my belief, we chose to be here right now. Our souls chose to incarnate in these bodies at this time for a reason. And so we're meant to be part of this unification and whatever that's going to look like. And we're going to keep talking about it. So it's exciting. So thank you.
And thank you both for giving us that roadmap. I think that's what I really feel every time we have these conversations. It's not any absolutes. It's not any must. It's just about how the universe is really working. And the more we can understand that and utilize the energy for good for ourselves and for each other, then we're all better for it. So I love it. I love the things you've given us to do. I think just to harness all of that light and energy, and we can get through this together, but I think you guys have given us a roadmap to really understanding how to best do that. So thank you. Always.
Thank you. And for those watching, if you didn't watch our video on Lionsgate, we recommend you do that. Even though this starts towards the end of August, there's a lot more about August in general in that video. And you can find out more about Akashic Bec and Stevie in our notes below. So thank you.